Australia acknowledges the traditional owners and custodians of the land in which this stream is produced. We pay our respects to all First Nations people and acknowledge elders past and present.
Good afternoon, the final session of the day, and it is women's para pairs semi-final action, and it's a rematch of the Commonwealth Games final from Birmingham last year. It's Australia's Cheryl Lindfield and Serena Bonnell up against Rosemary, Lenton and Pauline Wilson. Australia versus Scotland. Very much looking forward to this contest because it was what decided the Commonwealth champions last year, and it was the Scots that got the job done over the Australians. Val Febo here with you, and Barry Lester, as he has done all day, joins me. We are a little distracted though, Baz, before this one because the women's fours have gone to an extra end. Chrissy, Dawn, Linny and Kelsey up against Carla Banks, Claire Anderson, Stacey McDougall and Caroline Brown. Wow.
Yeah, how good is this? Yeah, it's what it's all about, Val. We're all on the edge of our seats for multiple results happening around the venue, and we try to bring you as much high-level bowling action as we can, and here's one of the other beautiful facets of our game, the para-disciplines, and I'm really looking forward to bringing this to everyone tuning in this afternoon.
Looking forward to this one very much. 2:45 the scheduled start, so I reckon they're going to get underway a little bit early here. 15 ends is what we're playing to. Sure, we'll confirm about the 3-hour time limit. I do believe it is there, but I'll make sure. But what an unbelievable turnaround it's been from Serena and Cheryl. After losing their first game to England, they've rebounded beautifully, haven't lost since. And they accounted for the Scottish pair 15-11 in the last sectional match yesterday, so they'll play them for the second consecutive time. Very much looking forward to this one, Baz. And Serena and Cheryl, they're such an endearing pair to watch, aren't they? So good and just wonderful people.
Yeah, plenty of love in that team between both players, and they formed a great relationship, especially when you counter in the fact that last year, a couple of big overseas trips to the UK. You're lucky to get overseas once in your bowling career lifetime, but 2 big trips in 1 year. First of all, the Commonwealth Games trials, then to go back for the Commonwealth Games, share those memories in the Northern Hemisphere, and then to come back at the next biggest competition there is, the World Champs, and making memories, making friends, and hopefully making a bigger collection to your silverware. We've got a nice, subtle easterly just coming in off the beach. So you'll see the east side being the wide side, predominantly here on green 3 at Broadbeach Bowls Club.
So, Baz, time limits will not count. Untimed. So it doesn't matter how long it takes. One of these two will be going through to the World Bowls Championships final. The loser will be walking home with a bronze. Rosemary, Lenton and Pauline Wilson up against Cheryl Lindfield and Serena Bonnell. Now, bringing you update to the fours. Australia, I believe, are holding 2. Kelsey Cottrell will have the final bowl of the match. There's 5 bowls left to come of the extra end to go through to the final and take on who we believe is going to be England. They look a fair while ahead.
There's plenty of games going on also here on green 3. Plenty of action. Right across this green, you see some wheelchair-bound players. We see athletes that have different disabilities, and they're out there doing their best for their respective countries, and it's just a great thing to see. I've had the pleasure of being around some of our athletes now for a long time. Jimmy Reynolds being one of those, been in the system for a good 20 years as an athlete. And we see the Felberg brothers.
Yep. Jackie and Rob Hudson, husband and wife pair, and Rosemary Lenton has got us underway here on Green 3 at Broadbeach. We'll keep you updated with what's happening on Green 4 as well. And Locke's got the other para-women's pairs semi-final scoreboard up there for you as well. New Zealand against Thailand.
A long jack straight away, Val. So we're probably looking at 34, 33 metres. So a long one starting up. Nice, really nice starter there from Rosemary.
Both of them using Aero Optima. Cheryl using the Hanselite Dreamline XGs and Serena Bonnell using the Taylor Redliner. They are your bowls in this match. Nice little touch there from Cheryl to start things off. She's feeling confident as Cheryl Lindfield was chatting to her before. She's revved up. She's ready to go here.
Yeah, beautiful conditions. Only a slight movement of those flags. It'd be enough just to fiddle around with the line a little bit, but all in all, I really feel the players should be feeling very comfortable about the conditions out there. Really nice crowd in around both Green 3 and Green 4. Cheryl Lindfield out on the forehand. Nice follow through there. Nice shot coming in on a good angle. Just needs to clear that front bowl, Rosemary's. Yeah, she has, but just going under. So Rosemary Lenton, forehand it is again. Gets the bowl away really nice.
She does.
In a really stable, strong, balanced position at release. This puts her in good stead. Just falling short on that occasion.
So I can bring you an update, Baz. One bowl to come for Caroline Brown. If she misses, Australia win.
Yeah, absolutely gutsy performance there from the Aussies. Found themselves about 10 down at one stage.
12-0.
Yeah, so 12 shots. And that's the beauty of this game. In my 27 years, so many times have I seen teams go out to large leads or teams be well behind. And the way this game works is as long as you keep giving your bowler a chance, you're always in the hunt.
You are. So let's see what Pauline Wilson can do with her opener.
Yeah, big rematch this one, as you said, Val.
Huge.
Different conditions, but the same intent from all the players, giving their best, trying their best for their country.
They sure are. So the Australians, I believe they are through. They are through to the final. The women's fours, oh my word, it crashed and rocked. But the women's fours, Barry Lester, what an incredible recovery.
Yeah, right down to an extra end. It brings back, unfortunately, some interesting memories for me. 2016.
Oh,
yeah,
it's a cruel way
on the wrong side of it that particular day. But the Aussies today on the right side, which is a really gutsy performance, and to hang tough, back yourself in. Kelsey Cottrell, a couple of big shots to the ditch there, played the big ones when it mattered, and that will go down as one of the best matches of this event. Be spoken about from years to come, especially when the extra end's involved. And now the Aussies have to go again, reset, and keep pushing for the gold medal match.
Unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable. They'll be in action this weekend. So back here, though, on Green 3, The Australians holding sway.
Pauline Wilson on the forehand. Got about 2 feet of room here. She get back for the jack. Wow, just missing high. Not a bad attempt. Up and at him. Serena Bonnell looking just to add another one here. Big for her confidence early on. If she can just draw another shot. You want to just settle into a rhythm early on, especially on the draw if you can. And it's going to get back to a nice line. Yeah, just over the weight. So, one shot so far to Australia.
It is.
With Pauline Wilson coming to have a look at this head. She knows that they've got a few in there. And that Australian bowl is pretty vulnerable. If they can remove that Australian shot bowl, they can make 3 or 4.
Good to have Sandra Bruce watching on with us. So obviously a gold medal place on the line, or place in the gold medal match on the line here for the Australians and Scots. Scotland took a monopoly of the para events at the Commonwealth Games last year, Barry, taking all 3 gold medals.
Yeah, it was a really great performance on, similar conditions to what they're used to, and full credit to their program as well, and that's where it stems from. It's one thing to perform well, but a lot of work goes into the athletes from their support crew and their state and country associations that help set everything up. So it's great to see all these countries getting behind the para program.
So Serena Bonnell steps to the plate, and we'll try and see if we can get Rosemary to stand out of the centre line next time when she comes back, or if we can get someone to have a chat and let them know. We'll
just missing under.
Yep.
So one shot to Australia.
Good start to the Aussies.
So Cheryl Lindfield on the mat. Australia scoring a 1 to begin. Serena Bonnell there just indicating what length for the jack. And that's a good roll from Cheryl. So can Australia make it 2 ends in a row? Back it up. What a beautiful angle this is coming in on the high line. And that's a lovely shot from Cheryl. 18 inches short. 0-0. Nice beginner.
There's a lot happening behind us here as the women's fours match has been completed. So if you do hear any noise in the background, that's what that is. So what has Rosemary Lenton got? She's well under here, so let's see what Cheryl can produce. Cheryl Lindfield. Little short, but that'll still count for the second.
Yeah, the beauty of that is she's nailed her line both times there, has Cheryl. She'll be comfortable on that backhand in future ends to come.
And Rosemary Lenton, though, I reckon she's done enough for shot. She has. So, the tail of the tape today. Australia's men's triples through to the final. Australia's women's fours through to the final. Australia's men's pairs playing a semi. Vision impaired pairs playing a semi. Vision impaired... para men's pairs playing a semi. Para women's pairs playing a semi. An opportunity to have 5 Australian teams go through to finals.
Cheryl Lindfield.
6, I should say. My maths is off. Cheryl, not a bad starter, or third.
Yeah, that's a really good home. In case there's some weight played later on. As you can see, these greens, tip-top shape. 4 or 5 days into competition, they're holding up strong. A little bit of a light shower last night, wouldn't have hurt. The greenkeepers put in so many hours. They're here dusk till dawn.
Done a great job, the greenkeepers here at the Broadbeach Bowls Club. Just under 3 o'clock in the afternoon, 2:55. This green still with perfect sun on it, Baz, running pretty quickly.
Yeah, you're right, Val. Conditions are really good right now. As you see across the rinks, a little slight movement of the flags.
And for the first time at this time throughout the week, we look to our west and we don't see rain clouds.
Yeah, it's been a bit of a consistent theme, hasn't it? Those storm clouds coming in over the west in the afternoon, but not today. We're going to finish with some nice bright sunshine, beautiful blue skies today. And Serena Bonnell just says, Cheryl, as good as you are, and left me just too much room, and draws a front toucher.
And knocks it up to possibly bring Cheryl's back bowl into the equation here for a second, but marker indicates that it's just the one.
Yeah, almost.
Not far off at all. Brilliantly done from Serena Bonnell. Her husband, Tony, is a Commonwealth champion. She wants to join the party. She's got a silver already. And big bowl there from Pauline Wilson. Still one down. To the Scots, maybe 2 now. I think she took out her own. She did.
Serena Bonnell on the backhand. 27 metres. Looking to put another one in there.
If she can, this would be 3 for the Aussies. Of course, if the match or the margin is above 6 with an end to play, we won't play it. She squirts the jack out and
3 shots.
Got a 3 to the Australians at the moment. So a lot to do for Pauline Wilson early. The Australians led for them in the early parts of that Commonwealth final, but it was the Scots that got the job done in the end. Pauline Wilson, this is good. That is the one.
Yeah, that was a bit unfortunate for Cheryl Lindfield and Serena Bonnell. They just popped the jack out into the open, which created too much room for Pauline.
And if you do pop the jack out on this surface, it goes quick and rockets away.
Yeah, sure does, Val. So Serena coming for a closer look, just to get another view of it. She might elect to play some form of weight, take the bowl out clean, or just draw it cold.
So, an opportunity for a second here for Pauline. Absolutely brilliant contest we expect from this. The other para-women's pairs semi-final sees Thailand leading New Zealand 4-0. Thailand pushed the Australians to the brink. Was a one-shot margin in the end. The para-women's pairs final will take place tomorrow. on the secondary rink after the vision impaired pairs. Men's triples to come after that at Club Helensvale. The men's pairs and women's fours will be on the main rink.
Serena, Bonnell, big extension on that one. Forehand, looking for the shot bowl. Well, we couldn't quite see that one, but just missing high.
So at this stage, that'll be just the one. Serena with another. Oh, sorry, Pauline with another.
Pauline Wilson, forehand. Couple of feet of room. Can she repeat the dose in her previous delivery? She did the hard yards with that one. Can she double up? She's just going to go through a little bit quick on this one.
Rosemary wants it to stop, but that'll be one. So we start this one with singles and the Scots level proceedings. Serena and Cheryl have become the cult figures of this Australian lineup. And see where the jack goes here. Might be going fairly short, it seems. Well, it does keep running, though. Matt right back. Jimmy Reynolds and Damien Delgado also playing on this rink. Jake Felberg and Jackie Hudson as well. The South African vision impaired team, though, they are the dangerous ones. They had an enjoyable sectional round. Sorry, Baz. Just elbowing you around now.
You're right, mate. Yeah, nice starter there. That's what it's all about from a lead perspective in this pairs format. That's what you want. Put them in early. Dictate terms from there.
Rosemary Lenton got better and better as that Commonwealth final went on at Leamington Spa. They were absolutely enormous that day.
Yeah, they did play great, no doubt about it. So, Cheryl, Lindfield just missing slightly high. Probably another yard on that works into a really good home.
It was 17-5 in that final. Australia winning the rematch here in the 5th round of the sectional play.
As we see Rosemary backing it up with another one. Well, that's great leading. 1 on, 1 just behind. Sitting there at 7 o'clock. Cheryl Lindfield going to miss high again. Just not correcting enough. Good attempt. I like that weight control. Just to sit or trail, pop the jack out. Just overdoing it.
So the tail of the tape with the rivalry between these two, the Australians actually won the opening match of the Commonwealth Games last year against Scotland. They won it by a shot. And as I said, they led early 2-1 after 3 ends, but Scotland went on a massive run after that, winning 6 ends in a row, 7 ends in a row to really take down the Australians and have it stitched up after 14 ends with an end to spare.
Yeah, that's brilliant leading from Rosemary. 3 inside 2 feet. Not much of a target. Cheryl just trying to chase the jack there a little. Missing under. So much action going on.
There is heaps, isn't there? There's just
grandstands are full.
People everywhere. This is what we like to see, Baz. Our sport in full flight.
Yeah, all the colour, the great weather, great greens. This is where you want to be as a player, on the highest level. Trying your best for your country. And I know we mentioned a lot, but these greens at Broadbeach, the thing that amazes me the most, the amount of other types of bowls they get, social night bowls, barefoot bowls, their rotation system, and their program to make sure that the rinks are moved daily. They move different directions. The rotation of the wear on the greens is phenomenal, and you can see these are like carpet.
Already, Serena Bonnell asked a massive question here. She's down 4. Rosemary Lenton leading beautifully. Pauline Wilson putting in another one. Serena Bonnell has got a lot of work to do to try and rectify this. She's got 3 in the artillery tank. Very important that she nails it with her first. Try and work through with her second. She doesn't want to put too much pressure on herself.
Yeah, I think the intent here has to be wait, try and open the head up at least, reduce the count. Just pausing for a second there, Serena, because of the wind. As you can see, the tent in the background just moving around to the fraction. Little gust just throwing her off. Good reset. Forehand, trying to either draw her way out of trouble or look to arrive and remove some of those Scottish bowls.
Serena Bonnell. Now, I'll tell you what, she's not far away here. It is just going to drift under. Just needed about a foot more weight, Baz.
Yeah, that's all. Yeah, a foot or two. I like the intent. Just trying to back yourself to get something in there with that weight. You know, if you halve something or grab something in the middle, you'll hang around, cut the damage back.
Scotland against Australia in the vision impaired pairs as well. Scotland, the Commonwealth champions. And then Jake Felberg, the 2018 Commonwealth Games champion.
Yeah, that's right. 218. What a day that was.
Jake with his father as director, Grant. And now, after Grant's retirement, that has transitioned over to his brother, Cody.
Yeah, there was plenty of tears in their eyes that day.
Father and son winning gold medal together. It's
Absolutely.
pretty special.
Only a couple of rinks away on green 2.
Serena Bonnell, she's found the gap. So 2 fantastic efforts so far. Now, can she nail it with her third? She's in a good home. A little trail of that jack could make a couple. And all the back bowls are Australia. So, is there a chance of possibly maybe playing weight, Baz? The target's there for Serena.
Yeah, I think once you've tried 2 attempts and it hasn't quite worked, I think you need to try something different, and that's got to be, for me, bigger weight. Got a couple of back bowls over there waiting for the jack movement. I think you'll see Serena either try and dead draw it or try and play nice controlled weight through the head, moving the jack out of there.
So, Pauline Wilson.
On the backhand. Going to miss under. Where's she going to go, though? She might end up being a good home over there. Split the 2 red bowls up. This is the moment. Currently 4 down. Do you back yourself to draw it or play a weighted shot? Comes back to self-preference. No one can tell you what shot to play here, as nothing's changed. You've got to play what you're confident in doing.
Serena Bonnell. She's been close with her first 2. This one's going to drop under, I believe. And at the back bowls there. So this is dangerous now because I believe this is 4 to Scotland.
Yeah, it was just 4 really good drawn bowls there from Scotland. And that's what it's about, just piling them in there, finding a comfortable length, some comfortable hands, sticking to it. As we see in the background there, plenty of colour. All the different countries in action. From Singapore to South Africa, Scotland.
Of course, the green and gold of Australia.
And that's another country. South Africa, such rich history. Some great players, some of the best players in the world to come out of South Africa. And they've also hosted some big events. None bigger than the World Bowls in 2020, in 2000 at Johannesburg. What an amazing setup that was. Okay, they need to bounce back, the Aussies. Already 5-1 after 3 ends. They're falling short on that occasion. Cheryl's got to make the most of that room. Can she counter back here for Australia?
Let's see what she can do. They're in desperate need of it. That last end was a loose one.
Yeah, great shot from Cheryl.
Right on the money. Needs to try and get another one of those in. She was short before. Serena Bonnell had a lot to work with, but Rosemary Lenton, it's like she lifts for these knockout games. Good home, got one past.
Yeah, Rosemary should be upset with those two, considering she just put 3 inside a yard the previous end. So, you know, it's just one of those ones. Is it a concentration thing, or is it a certain hand she's playing? And she'll want to assess that early days, try and tighten things up in this direction, considering Australia was holding a 3 on the second end in this direction.
So Cheryl gets another one in.
Yeah, and Cheryl looks right at home this way as well. So that's a nice reply from Australia already after dropping a number. That's what you want to see.
So many pivotal moments on these Broadbeach greens today. We move to Helensvale tomorrow for the first lot of finals and women's singles semis. Women's singles quarterfinals as well, Baz. That'll be today. Ellen Ryan.
It's going to be a late finish to the day. They'll be playing well and truly into the evening.
As Cheryl Lindfield trails it away. So as they did in the second end, Australia spilling the jack out, going from 3 in fairly close to still holding a couple, but a lot of room for the skips to work with here. And those front 2 bowls of Rosemary Lenton won't have any sort of effect here. Australia holding 2 at the moment. They need a multiple to respond to the Scots from the third end. Play 15 here, no time limit.
Yes, Serena Bonnell, she popped the jack out last time in this direction, and Scotland were able to walk away with the shot. Let's hope Australia can get in first here. So getting late in the day's play here. We'll notice it's been a consistent feature. As the temperature starts to drop, people start reaching for their jackets and hood jumpers.
So Pauline is under. Still 2 to Australia. Cheryl Lindfield comes to give Serena Bonnell some support. A third here would be brilliant, just to put some pressure on her opponent.
Yeah, you'll see the greens just slow down a touch, but as they are now, just over 14 seconds, they just lose a little finish, but still running beautifully. Pauline Wilson on the forehand. Probably 2.5 feet of room to draw a shot here. She looks really good to there. Well, she gets the jack. That'll shut it right down, but just halving.
Yep, halving, and that'll be 1 to Australia at the moment. So Serena will have last bowl here. Still one left to come for each. Serena with 2. They'd love a multiple. Absolutely love a multiple.
Serena Bonnell, 2 feet of room, forehand it is.
And, well, that front bowl did come into play.
Yeah, not for good reasons, but
No.
yeah, just missing her line slightly there, Serena. It needs to be a bowl or 2 higher with her next. Okay, Pauline Wilson. She's found the hole this time, so she's gone from half jack to now the hole. There's still a couple there to negotiate at the front there for Serena, but I feel if she just backs herself in, similar weight, find another maybe 6 to 8 inches of grass. Okay, Serena Bonnell just needs to correct on line. Well, she's under again here. Just falling away a little bit on the mat with that delivery.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
Wow.
That was the worst possible result, and Australia are now left reeling. She was under, crashed into the Scottish Bowl, and all of a sudden, 7-1.
Yeah, unfortunate there. 1 up to 2 down. Serena just didn't seem to look at a balanced position at point of release there. Just seemed to be falling away on that one, and unfortunately connected with the wrong bowl. And 2 it is to Scotland.
Just been alluded to by Lockie Williams sitting next to us that another major final, and it's Christina Christic up against Sophie Tolchard and Amy Farrow yet again, Barry Lester.
Yeah, right. Okay, so England versus Australia.
It is.
Women's fours. I'm trying to test my knowledge without having to Google anything, Lockie and Val, but was it Australia v England in the fours in 2016?
Well, Australia won it. I'll have a look for you now, Baz.
I think it might have been. If not, it was Wales. So
May have been the Welsh.
I know England, I thought, featured in one of the women's
No, you're right.
finals.
Look at you.
Alan Faulkner.
Yep.
So Alan Faulkner back then, 2016, representing England. Now one of our staff members on the Australian Jackaroos team.
Yep. With another one of the staff members, Rebecca Van Ash.
Yeah, that was the start of big things to come for those World Championships for those ladies. Gold in the women's fours. I think from what I remember, it was a bit of a damp day.
Damp New Zealand, really? Shock horror.
Beautiful, clean, fresh air over there
Yeah,
in Christchurch.
would be. So now Cheryl Lindfield gets one to go the distance. So Australia now, they are chasing their tails. This is dangerous. Scotland have been, well, the last end they weren't really over it at all. But Serena Bonnell, just a bit of a mistake there. And Rosemary Lenton, she has pulled the shot. Cheryl Lindfield now back. The loser goes home with a bronze here. The winner goes in with a chance to take home the gold medal. Australia would dearly love to do it on home soil. Both of them in their home state of Queensland. Cheryl Lindfield, she's not far away. Doesn't want to move the jack closer to Rosemary Lenton's. Her wry smile
Yeah, Jack's moving around a lot, Val, already.
Yep, a lot of chalk. We might need a new spray can.
You know, the difference between the Jack catching that bowl or not's huge, because all of a sudden Cheryl would have been in the ditch next to it, but it catches on the Scottish lead bowl, and all of a sudden they're holding one. Yeah, nice if Cheryl can just put another one around it here. Shot's a bonus. Probably the calmest day we've had this week.
I think so. Not much wind to speak of.
No,
been pretty nice.
Hasn't really got up at all today. Not to the point where it's playing big havoc with the bowls. Probably a little bit of havoc in terms of your angles with weighted shots, but it's been kind enough to allow players draw evenly on both hands throughout the day.
So a massive end in the context of this match for Australia. They swap over. Pauline and Serena go to the mat. It's been one that, the first four ends that I'm sure the Australians would rather forget. Serena concentrating. She's mentally so sound, so she will have the belief, and so will Cheryl. Cheryl was down massively against Serena in the Australian Open multi-disability singles final quite recently, and came back and took home the victory in a 3-hour tussle. Ruined Serena Bonnell's birthday.
Forehand it is. Pauline Wilson out on a nice line. Tell you what, if she's got good weight here, she could add another here. What a shot this is.
She certainly could. Pauline Wilson doesn't skew the jack well.
It's a friendly match, this one,
Yep.
Mel.
Each of them giving each other some shots and some closeness to the jack. So Australia, well, they've given away two. They'll hope for another one later on. Have a look at this. It was a beautiful line like Cheryl was on before. Serena Bonnell now with a chance to add in a second. A multiple desperately needed for Australia. Serena's first of the end.
Yeah, just going to be under here, Serena Bonnell. Okay, this is one of those situations here for Scotland where there's some front bowls in the way, so the weight you choose becomes the key factor. You can try and look to just play around the front, but if you crash, then you're out of the game. Or do you play it sort of firm, looking for jack or bowl? And that seems to be the intent here from Pauline. She's having a good look at this if she clears that.
Rosemary doesn't mind it. She's not far away, but she's going to miss.
Great attempt.
Serena Bonnell, an opportunity now to really tighten the screws. They, as I said, I can't understate how much they need a multiple. Clive Williams, an Australian Open finalist in multi-disability pairs. Cheryl having similar luck here as she did it against me 4 weeks ago in Mackay. Apparently all bad.
Serena Bonnell, clear the front, get down to the shot bowl. Just going too much.
She's got one more. So this is almost a repeat at the moment of Birmingham. Now Australia beat them in a close one. And then Scotland have rocketed away early, but on home greens, it'll be a different story, you'd think. Cheryl and Serena mentally so strong. They will never give up until it's mathematically impossible.
That's right, Val. They're fighters. They've proven that now on regular occasions. So many stories untold, well and truly before medal games. Pauline Wilson, she's dropped a bit of weight. I don't think she's going to miss that front one. So, yeah, the ability to not only get out of your pool or your section and then get somewhere near the medals is so many stories untold, so many games. It came down to a one bowl or one shot or one end. And some of these tournaments could have been well and truly over early days, but they just got to be persistent across the 2 weeks. As Serena Bonnell, she's trying to be persistent as well with this backhand. Can she sit and draw another? Well, 1 in, 1 out, I think. Might be 2. So 1 to Australia there. Serena Bonnell. Well, there might have been the toucher. So it is 1 to Australia.
Yep. So, well, it's not a multiple, but it's something. They're back on the board here, the Aussies. And they desperately needed it. 2-7. A third of the way through this contest, Barry. 15 ends. That's what we're playing to.
Yeah, and I think it's, once again, it's just that persistence. Cheryl played 3 really good bowls in this direction last time, so just reflecting on that, keep your mind in a positive mindset.
Yep.
If something bad happens in a game of bowls, a bit of luck goes against you, or, you know, it creates a bit of a negative or a downward spiral when it comes to your emotion, one of the best ways to get out of that is just to grab any positives that's happened in your game. Now, it might not be that actual game before you played or that actual day. It might be a few days beforehand or a week beforehand, but there's so much positives to come out of what you're doing out there on the greens, and sometimes you can just get into a bit of a negative rut, a bit of a negative mindset. You've just got to switch your mind back into some positives, grab some good shots you've played, maybe some games you've played well in and won, and feel good about yourself again and create that nice positive mindset, and then approach the mat and feeling good about yourself. You should never play a bowl upset or angry.
No. And that's the biggest thing. You play anything angry, you often tend to give it a little bit more, don't you, Baz? And you often don't think about it as much as you should. And, yeah, we've seen it happen before where players play something in frustration, in not just in bowls but in any sport. And it can be at their detriment.
Absolutely, Val. Good call. I think what anger can do is then become a real distraction if you're angry. Whereas if you're happy, I think you can still be focused and concentrating.
100%, because you're enthused, you're engaged.
That's
and
right.
If you're angry, your mind is elsewhere. Your mind is in the past.
That's right, and it's bad energy. So try and just, you get off to a rough start, you're down in a game, and you're probably not playing your best. You miss a couple of shots or something. That's okay. I played a good shot this morning in the game leading up to this one. I remember playing a great shot, and I'm going to grab that positive and stick to it. So I know golfers, Cameron Smith, he's a big one that does that. If he plays a bad shot, he'll just reflect on his last good swing.
So the other para semi-final scores, Australia doing all right. Jimmy Reynolds and Damien Delgado, 8-2 over Singapore after 4. So they look to get through to the final. And Jake Felberg and Jackie Hudson, 5-2 against Scotland after 4. However, England over South Africa, the unbeaten South Africa, 6-0 after 4 ends. Very interesting there. That South African duo who took home multi-nations gold this year and defeated the Australians a little earlier on in the tournament.
Cheryl Lindfield on the backhand.
Yeah, she's got one past here, Cheryl.
So 2 just short, 1 just behind.
The behind one, that's going to come into play, you'd think. Rosemary Lenton now with an opportunity to really put a stranglehold on this end and really give them a decent right of reply after dropping the last. Australia were absolutely desperate to get that shot on the board. Serena will want to add some more here. 7-2. Ellen Ryan and Lara Butler, 2 apiece in the women's singles quarterfinal.
Yeah, that's a great story in itself, isn't it? Both young guns of Australian bowls, and Lara Butler having the dual citizenship, represents Western Australia. Left-hander. Her and Ellen going for it. They'll know each other fairly well. We've crossed paths a few times before around Australia. Here they are at the biggest event of their lives, World Championships, the Olympics of lawn bowls. And this is what I really love. You look across these rinks, some of these players have gone through some hardships, some setbacks in their life, suffered from life-threatening injuries or born with certain disabilities, and they're out there giving it their all for their country in a sport they love. It just doesn't get any better than that.
No, and Serena's story herself, I think, being on exchange in China and just falling ill, where the doctors still really can't 100% pinpoint what happened, but that they hypothesise that she may have eaten a piece of poisonous fish that wasn't cooked properly. But yeah, her story is one of perseverance and one of inspiration, and she's a pioneer of not just para bowls, but para sport and inclusivity in this country with what she's doing. She's an AIS Thrive with Pride ambassador and does some great work around the inclusivity space, and she's such a good person to have in our sport and such a good person for our sport.
Yeah, a friend of mine, Val, growing up playing a bit of footy with him and going to school with him, he actually suffered a really bad accident skydiving, and unfortunately had to spend the rest of his life in a wheelchair, and went on to represent Australia in wheelchair basketball.
Amazing.
And just the determination and resilience from him to do that. What a great, strong character, and it's something that they just grab within themselves and run with it, and we're so proud of how they go about it, and they're just great people to go with it, and it's such a great thing that bowls does from an inclusion point of view.
So, big bowl here for Serena Bonnell coming up. There's not much in terms of coverage behind. Cheryl does have a couple of back bowls, but Serena won't want to be trailing. She'll want to just get close, because we've already seen the risk of trailing the jack towards your opponent's bowls. Come on the backhand here, Serena. Not a bad line. Needs it to slow down and pull up here and then just start to turn, which it is doing. Serena Bonnell, what has she got here? Needs to hurry. Probably cut it down to one. And that's what Rosemary, Lenton and our marker are indicating. So Pauline Wilson, a chance to win a multiple here. She comes down the green. I like this. Settles, inspects the head. See what she can do.
Val, if you want to just fill us in over the next couple of days, where can people tune in from right around the world to watch the finals? Obviously this weekend and then the following weekend. Just a reminder that tomorrow and Sunday there will be discipline finals. Then there'll be a week of pool matches, and then next weekend, the last weekend of this event, will be more finals. So just fill us in, Val. Where can people from all around the world watch the action?
Very much looking forward to this. So we've got Fox Sports and KO in Australia, Sky NZ in New Zealand, internationally on Fubo TV in the US.
It's FBO, FUBO, is it?
FUBO, and then Bowls England's own platform as well. So there's plenty of places you can watch, and also on Facebook as well. So there's plenty that, absolutely plenty of platforms for you to watch. The 7 finals that we have for you this weekend, there are 5 tomorrow on a huge day of bowls at Club Helensvale. So that's 1 to Scotland. So Serena managed to cut that one down. So 8-2 is the lead. So Baz, tomorrow it's the women's fours, men's pairs on the main rink. And on the secondary rink, it is the vision impaired mixed pairs, para women's pairs, and then men's triples. And then on Sunday, it's the para men's pairs into women's singles.
Yeah, 2 huge big days. Some big rivalries already shaping up, as you mentioned. Marshall.
Sheriff.
v Sheriff. It's a final we've been trying to drum up in the Australian Open singles and Alex came out here, but unfortunately they met each other early on in the competition a few years back. Everyone worked their way over to Southport to see it. Aaron Sheriff coming away with a win in that, but their BPL battles over the years have been phenomenal.
Even
bowl for bowl.
Semi-final this year.
And then the Australian Open, Aaron Sheriff and I, with Joshy Thornton and Jared Christie, we couldn't quite get it done against a pretty good team in the 2018 Australian Open Fours final in Alex Marshall, Jeremy Henry, Nathan Rice, Ryan Burnett. So
yeah, it's not a bad team, is it?
Not a bad team, but that was definitely another Sheriff v Alex Marshall battle, and there's been so many, and we love to see it. So that's going to be a cracker.
We do. They won't be playing directly on each other, with Marshall skipping and Sheriff in second, but we will be seeing the two of them go toe-to-toe once again, which is as exciting as anything. It is a promoter's dream. And Cheryl Lindfield needs it to run. Won't do enough. Still one to Scotland, I reckon. So Australia really looking to come back at this. The Scotland team have rocketed away 8-2 thanks to a very big 4 on the third end, and then a little bit of bad luck to Serena Bonnell in the end after.
Yeah, that's right. Just a couple of jack movements, springing out to the side and moving on the trail, just hurting Australia a couple of times, but Scotland were up for it. They drew it when it mattered, and as we see Cheryl Lindfield here on the backhand. Out on a nice line there. She's got the right weight. It should work back nicely. Just going to go through a fraction. That's potentially the shot. If not, it's close. It's a good shot there from Cheryl.
So, Rosemary Lenton, she's been good. She's led well. And that front-end pressure that she's provided has been the catalyst for Pauline Wilson to really pounce.
Oh,
and that's really nice from Rosemary Lenton, right behind the jack. Australia in the men's parapairs, leading Singapore 10-2. Now, Elizabeth, Marshall v Sheriff, it's tomorrow afternoon, and it will be at Club Helensvale. Stay tuned for how you can watch a bit later. We just went through it, but we'll go through it again later, and it'll be on Bowls Australia's social media platforms tonight.
Yeah, that's right. Not only have we got so many countries competing, but we've got so many countries out there wanting to watch the action, and we will be bringing it to you, especially the finals from Helensvale. Serena Bonnell on her way up to the mat. One down, potentially two. Pauline Wilson probably got almost a yard to count here. She's going to play forehand by the looks of it. Try and work back around that front bolt. She's just resetting here. Not sure. Maybe there's a bit of action going on the rink next door. So just taking her time. Nice approach.
So Pauline Wilson, they both have lifted for this contest. It's become one of the rivalries of Parabowls, with Scotland and Australia meeting in the Commonwealth Games final in two of them last year, men's parapairs and women's parapairs.
Serena Bonnell on the mat. Trying to get it done here for Australia.
Can it come around, or she doesn't want to knock that Scotland bowl? She does. Currently 2 to the Scots. They are looking the goods, I must say, Barry. I know it's early days still, but we're near the halfway point of this, and they've only dropped 2 ends. And Pauline Wilson, well,
that's 3.
But it has spilled it out a little bit, so give Serena Bonnell a little bit more room to work with.
Yeah,
a multiple is desperately needed by the Australians.
Yeah, definitely create a much kinder head for Australia, Val. That's right, and it's that ongoing component of the match or any game where you're always trying to get close, and that's the name of the game. But you can't be doing it and making the opposition play an easier head than what it was before. So Serena Bonnell here, you can see it's a wide target. She just needs to come down there and reach, pick up the jack, or sit the bowl. She's played it.
And there we go. A little bit of a round of applause for Serena Bonnell. That's huge. So brilliantly done from the Queenslander.
Yes, that's that one we spoke about. Pauline Wilson holding a really good 2, coming down, opening the jack up. But Serena Bonnell, perfect weight control here, just to come down, try and trail the jack back or sit the shot bowl.
1 left to come.
Yeah, Pauline Wilson, it's close. I don't think she has the tee. So her weight control now, even though she's got 3 seconds, she might not try and play it too big, considering she's 1 down on the tee. So it is close. I can't really pick it.
I know. I reckon that's 1 to Australia on the tee.
So she has got the ability to play these weighted shots. We've seen it before, Val, as you mentioned last year, Commonwealth Games. She gets the bowl away beautiful. Watch how smooth that comes out. Lush.
Yep.
And she's out on a good line.
And that, well, now an opportunity. What does Serena do here? Does she go on the forehand here, Baz, and maybe try and nudge the jack and possibly make a 3, or do you just stick with the cold draw, take 2?
Yeah, I think there's not a lot of danger if she just plays backhand. If she kicks the jack out to sort of, 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock, and gets it into this section here, well, she can make 3 or 4 in that. But she'll be giving it a chance. Not a lot of danger. Sit her own bowl.
Yep, Serena Bonnell now needs to start getting down, and that's going to miss high. So it'll be another 1 to Australia. So 8-3. Australia 2 of the last 3 ends. Small pulse as we move towards the halfway point of the contest.
Yeah, just a little length change. Just watching the communication here between Serena and Cheryl. Okay, mat up it is. Just cut out a bit of length here.
So Lara Butler leading Ellen Ryan 7-5 in the women's singles quarterfinal.
That's been about the average against Ellen the last 3 or 4 days.
Yeah.
7 shots for a match. So
Rebecca Colquhoun scored 13 in the final sectional match.
yeah, 71 shots across 10 games. Amazing effort to only give away that amount of shots from Ellen Ryan in her first World Bowls representing Australia in singles. She's ticking all the right boxes at the moment and just finding herself slightly down against I was going to call her a Western Australian, but she's not a Western Australian this week.
She's the Swiss maestro of bowls.
And I actually got a phone call from a friend of mine the other day who plays Premier League bowls in Sydney, New South Wales. And he said, my mum is Sri Lankan.
There you go.
And he said, I have a Sri Lankan passport, dual citizenship. He goes, I might give him a call.
Why not?
So
You've
there
got
you
the
go.
citizenship.
That's correct. You just never know. There's quite a few people playing for other countries whilst residing in Australia.
Certainly are. And this from Cheryl Lindfield is going to be enough.
Nice shot from Cheryl.
So Australia absolutely desperate to get this multiple. They haven't scored one yet. They've won 3 of the 7 ends so far, but they've dropped a big 4, and that at the moment is proving to be the difference. So this one's going to drop underneath. Good weight, though, from Rosemary Lenton. As the Australians try and power their way back into this. If they can pull off this victory, they will be very, very satisfied with their performance. Australia in the vision impaired mixed pairs, leading Scotland 6-3. That one's gone behind, so another good home for the Aussies. Holding one. Now it's up to Rosemary Lenton with her final of this end. Final delivery. It'll come to the skips now. What has Rosemary got?
She's got a few feet of room here.
Yep, not a bad line. Is this going to be it? Needs it to slow down. And it has not. Well, sorry, it has. Sorry, too quickly.
Yeah, just pulling up. It's the jack length's just thrown a couple of people off here in terms of just nailing the jack. Cheryl's got all 3 bowls down the rink, middle of the rink there, so
her line has been excellent.
yeah, a lot of positives, but just that bringing that mat up and putting the jack into a new position can change the rhythm up. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, but so far so good for Australia, holding one shot. As we see here, Serena Bonnell. Looks to be backhand for me.
Yep. So it's one that Australia just need to win now. They need to keep winning ends, keep reeling the Scots back, keep pulling at this momentum. But the way that Pauline and Rosemary have dealt with the pressure here, they've been sensational. And Serena wants it to pull up. It'll just go past, but again, not a bad home.
Pauline Wilson, forehand. Negate that front bowl or potentially promote it.
Crash in and promote, and, well,
maximum result.
Bowls giveth and bowls taketh away.
Yeah. Just, well, she's playing up on her forehand knowing that if she did get any contact, it would favour her, considering that bowl was standing. So
now Serena Bonnell. This is close. It's coming.
big effort.
Very good effort, and another one in that slot there. So Serena's going to have one more, but again, it looks as though the Scots, their ability to rebound and not drop multiple ends in a row has been really good so far.
Yeah, so true, Val. Good call. There's Pauline Wilson misses high again. Nothing to bump up on this occasion. And she's going to dance on the edge. So one ball left.
Huge bowl for Serena Bonnell. Needs some impact.
Yeah, something similar to her last. Wasn't a mile away, only a bowl high. Just try and release it the same, get it up on the same line. Try and make the smallest of corrections. Let the bowl do the work. Oh, she's trying so hard.
Serena Bonnell.
She's done it.
Got it. Beautiful. Sensational. Cheryl even does a little jig. Absolutely love it.
Yeah, as we see on the replay, Serena Bonnell using every bit of grass to get back to that shot bowl.
Wait for the little jig from Cheryl. And there it is. How good's that?
Okay. Pauline Wilson from Scotland. Commonwealth Games gold medal rematch.
The exact same 4 players, Baz.
Crazy to think that was over a year ago now.
Unbelievable. Feels like yesterday.
Back there in Birmingham. Here we go. Backhand looking to sit the shot bowl of Serena Bonnell. She's very close here, Pauline.
She's close. Or Jack.
Wow.
Oh, and it's spilled through.
Well, she might have made 2 or 3
I
here.
think she's made 3. Wow. Wasn't much of a celebration there.
I thought I heard Colleen then. Thinking I've mucked up Pauline's
No,
name
it is
wrong, but I
Pauline.
just don't have the Scottish accent to go with that. How good is it? Love the Scottish accent from one of the Scottish supporters. So we're seeing there Rosemary rolling the jack. What length will they roll?
Been blessed by royalty here, Baz. Clive Adams standing behind us. Where'd he come from? Lurking in the shadows.
He's just flown in on the red eye from Perth.
Yep. So, horrible luck for Serena and Cheryl. But Pauline Wilson, she was in the area. And when you're in the area, Baz, results happen.
Yeah, you know, her weight control was lovely, just to work around the front and get back down to the intended target.
Scotland, well, they've got 1 foot in the final now. They lead it by 8 shots. Cheryl and Serena will not die wondering, though. We know what they are capable of.
Yeah, not quite the one she was after there was Rosemary, but half decent line to something to work on. Just needs to correct the weight.
Just underneath here from Cheryl.
Yeah, probably 2 foot short. So correct the line. Weight will come. That east side, always the wide side. Up and down the coast of Australia.
Yep.
When you're playing north-south direction, the east side coming in off the ocean, 9 times out of 10 you'll find is the widest hand. Especially in my travels. Something I've picked up on, and definitely here on the Gold Coast. So, correction required here from Cheryl.
Ellen Ryan has taken the lead. 9-8 against Lara Butler. Beautiful correction from Cheryl Lindfield. They need a big score now. And that is an understatement. Rosemary Lenton. What has she got?
Needs to get this one up or past.
She's closing in. She's closing in on this Cheryl Lindfield bowl. She's got it. Brilliantly done.
Maximum result there for Rosemary. Needing to make contact on something.
Yeah.
Just overdoing it, but getting that bowl right in the middle. And as we continue to say, if you're not up, you're not in. And Cheryl needs to try and replicate that bowl of Rosemary's. Well, not quite.
Don't know if it got there. So the skips change over. 4 short bowls, 2 behind. Unfortunately, John, we can't quite see what's happening in the women's singles. We did post a link a few comments ago to go have a look at the women's singles scores. So if you just scroll up on your comments section, it's just there. Sorry, we wish we could help a little bit more, but the crowds are about 4 deep here, Baz.
They are brilliant, yeah. All 360 areas and parts of this green. Mate, there's great crowds. Like, when you look around, you see, I've seen people today that have travelled down from the Sunshine Coast. I'm saying at 8 of them, they said, yeah, we've just come down, going to stay a few days and watch the action.
Why not?
Watch the finals.
Why not?
And we've even had a guy, a ring-in, fly in from Western Australia, Clive Adams. So it just goes to show they'll fly from anywhere to come and see World Bowls action.
So that one from Pauline just sitting at the back. It might be enough for two, but I don't think so. So Serena Bonnell, a lot of work to do. Yeah, they absolutely need a multiple now. It is panic stations. They'll try not to panic. Scotland have just been right over it.
Yeah, very steady pair. But I still think this game is hanging in the balance of a multiple somewhere. And Serena can draw this. We'll turn Cheryl up.
Now there's the opportunity, if they don't get one in, they can sit that shot bowl away and make a couple. But we are over the halfway point of this contest, and Scotland are in cruise control at the moment. Pauline and Rosemary have been magnificent. That one's going to go around the back and miss high.
There's a chance here for Australia. They can make a multiple the way the head's forming. Just got to be able to get to that shot bowl and sit it for three. Serena, she's on the charge, I believe. She's looking for this bowl around the front ones. She get back in time.
Serena Bonnell. This is huge. If she can get it, needs it to start working its way back, and it won't. But they are building a nice head. She's going to have a couple more opportunities. Or one more, sorry. As Pauline Wilson puts down her last. Striding up the green to have a chat with Rosemary.
Yeah, you love to see that, Val. I'm a big fan of any communication between teammates. Got to be on the same page in all team events. Communicate as much as you can throughout the game. No stage should be on different pages. You want to be knowing exactly the intentions of both players, and then once you do know that, you support each other all the way. Pauline Wilson, backhand it is.
So what has she got?
There's another one in there, Val.
Scotland want to put an absolute stranglehold on this, and Pauline has been on the money a fair bit today. Needs it to run, and it just is going to pull short. Australian men's pairs, they're doing pretty well. 9-7 over Malaysia.
As we can see, those front blue bowls there, they won't feature. Serena Bonnell, she has the opportunity to turn the front red ones up to count. If she slides past, maybe get back to the blue bowl. She seemed to get that one away a bit tighter. There might be a chance here, Serena Bonnell.
Either promote one of their own. Dead draw it cold, needs it to stop. And it won't. So Scotland continue to press. They now lead it by 9, Barry Lester.
Yeah,
12-3, and there are 6 ends to go.
Yeah, just the one bowl really played by Scotland then, and still it was the one that mattered. Australia having a decent end. Scotland just playing the one, and it hung around for shot. Serena Bonnell not quite able to get it out. So, as we see here, now playing the 10th end, and the deficit is 8 shots. So, Australia need to start moving now. Try and win this last quarter.
Well, this is what it is now. It's just the Aussies have to get the momentum, because it is all Scotland's at the moment, and this is a carbon copy of what happened at the Commonwealth Games last year. Winning the first match 16-15, and they did it again here 15-11 in round 5. and they're meeting again in the knockout stages or the medal matches. And Scotland just absolutely running away with it. And again, Rosemary, Lenton on the money. A bit short, but not too far away.
Yeah, it's a nice start. Everything was really good in terms of the angle it's coming in, the line it took, just lacking a little bit of momentum. So a couple of rolls, that's all. Learn a lot from that. Don't have to change much. Minimal correction required. Cheryl, open hand, backhand. Also lacking a yard. And Val, what time is it, mate?
4 o'clock. A yard more at 4 or after 4.
You got that down, Pat, mate. That's correct. That's the local knowledge. So you see those two bowls falling a yard short. A yard more at 4. The temperature's just dropping now. The grass will stand. And the green will slow down. It'll lose its shine. And that's just nature playing its part in what we have to do here in this sport of bowls, and that's combat nature and the elements. And all 4 bowls so far just falling a yard short. So we'll see that quite a lot, actually. If we look across the heads, we're starting to see a number of bowls just dropping in short.
Yard more after 4, Baz.
So true. So true, mate. As we see again here from Rosemary, you can see the bowl starting to sit down in the grass more. Shadows, you can see the shadows right over those bowls now.
Ellen Ryan leading Lara Butler, 13-8.
And the thing with finding a yard, Val, from a technical point of view, you can find it in a few places. Tempo in your arm swing, as Cheryl ducks under. It might be enough for a couple. But the most common place you'll see it at this level is definitely in the body weight. You'll see just a little bit more forward momentum pushing off the mat, just getting the body right in behind the release, create that tempo, extra tempo.
So the Aussies holding sway with a couple here, Baz. This is as big as it gets for them. They need a 3 or a 4 here to try and really peg this lead back, because they're down by 9. And there's 5 ends to play after this. It's at the point where they're needing a fair few and over.
Yeah, it has to be a multiple, Val. Has to be a multiple. One's just going to make it hard. Well, they're still holding 2, Australia.
Yep, as the skips go down. So Serena's going to have last bowl. Just big scores needed for the Aussies to make a contest of this. But Scotland, they've been absolutely sensational. They've been in the area, bit of luck as well, but for the most part, they've been consistent and ruthless.
Yeah, a lot of cheering, a lot of support going on. Like we said, we just ticked over 4 o'clock. It's long days for supporters, long days for volunteers, officials, and for the athletes. This is the time you got to really punch the water in, start nibbling on food, get the energy levels, keep them at a premium level, keep stretching, keep moving. These are the big ends, need to finish strong. So Serena Bonnell on the backhand.
This is massive, Baz. Just to get another one in and really put some pressure on.
She's on a good line, Val.
She certainly is. Serena Bonnell needs it to get down. Needs it to stop now.
Yeah, good effort.
Yep.
That'll do. So, good call, Val. Didn't want any jack connection. Got down lovely there. Definitely didn't want to flick the jack out.
No. I was a bit worried that it was going to, because it's happened a few times today where the jack has flicked away. But Pauline, what has she got? What does she come back with?
Pauline Wilson, that's clutch.
She follows the jack, and that'll do very nicely.
3 down to 1 up.
Monumental, and this is the difference.
Yeah.
Just brilliantly done.
Every time Australia starts to grab this game and run with it, Pauline Wilson just comes up with shots like this. This is clutch. On a high line, coming in nicely. And Serena Bonnell, can she sit this bowl? She's not a mile away here.
She's not. Serena Bonnell, this is huge. If she can get to the bowl, she's close.
Wow.
Oh, whisker. An absolute whisker.
Huge attempt there. She's 1 bowl left, has Serena Bonnell. Can she get it with her last? Or will Pauline Wilson shut it down first?
Pauline stands on the mat, just ensures that she's measured. Brilliant release. Textbook.
Yeah, sent it out well. She's given it every chance anyway. I think she needs to slow down though, Val.
She's moving pretty quick, but she might get a little result. However, it is turning back quick. It's a good home to be in.
Well, 2 seconds to Australia. Second and third shot.
Serena has to get this bowl now.
Yeah, sit it clean for 3 or flick it out for 2. Either way, it'll be a multiple if she can get this bowl moving out of the head.
14-8 to Ellen Ryan as the Serena Bonnell bowl comes down. Doesn't need much more than her last. She's got to clear the front here, Serena Bonnell. It's coming.
Just missing high.
And that'll be, I believe, another one to the Scots. It is. So they continue their upward trajectory in this contest. They lead at 13-3, and there's 5 ends to play. Australia need 2 an end to reel this back. I've already seen one big comeback today in the women's fours. 12-0 down the Aussies. And I think it was 18-8 at one stage as well.
Yeah, that's definitely a game for the archives where in future years to come, you slap that one right front in the resilience, persistence file and show that to the Jackaroos and future players on just how to stay strong mentally, how to keep being physically prepared. And there's no doubt, Val, no doubt in my mind, as much as they had to play good bowls when it mattered, but their physical presence and strengths helped also, and that's that preparation I continue to talk about, hydration, nutrition, and being physically and mentally prepared at all times. So the opportunity here for Australia starts again, new end, new opportunity. Long end, ditch to ditch. So Australia need a multiple here. Don't feel one will be enough. Cheryl, Lindfield. The Commonwealth Games gold medal rematch from Birmingham last year. 12 months on from that amazing festival of bowls over there in Birmingham. What a show they put on over there. So both players not quite finding their mark in this direction.
Certainly not. But there's an opportunity here for the Aussies. They need to get moving now. 5 ends, including this one.
Well, that's going to be 4 feet short, so still a lot of room for Cheryl. Just needs to keep throwing it out there, though. Let the bowl do the work. Send it out. The weight will come off naturally. On a tightish line. Needs Jack, does Cheryl Lindfield. She's close.
Very close. Cheryl, and she follows it as well. It goes into the ditch.
Well,
So we're going to put a marker up. You'll see exactly where the jack is in a second. There's a big cheer on the green next door. Not sure what that is. Oh, the Australians in the men's pairs.
Malaysian skip playing a big bowl there, 2 down to 1 up.
Is that Zulkepler, a very, very accomplished bowler, finalist in the World Champion of Champions, as Rosemary Lenton nails it.
Great shot, Rosemary.
What a bowl.
We're seeing it all. Weighted shots, drawing to the ditch, deft touch. Cheryl Lindfield, she needs to back it up. Close to the front one. Well, just getting too much.
I think Aaron Wilson has just rectified the situation.
Yeah, 3 or 4 feet to draw the shot there. Aaron Wilson out in the back. Crowd appreciating that. Drawing it. Put Australia 2 up. So that makes it 10-8. It's a ring-a-ding-ding battle, that one. 8 ends down, 10 to go. Ireland in the other semi-final, leading to Canada 8-1 after 7 ends.
14-10, Alan Ryan's way over Lara Butler.
Well, the shadows are starting to come across all the greens here. Be in behind the trees soon. The lights are already on here on green 3. They won't be far away on green 4 as well.
Not at all. Pauline Wilson with a chance for herself.
To add to the count. Weight's pretty good. Just needs to turn for me here, Val.
And it might just do that.
Could be the boss. What an effort. That could be 2.
Yep, it is 2. That is magnificent from Pauline Wilson. What an exhibition of ditch drawing. Absolutely sensational from the Scottish team. Both of them have managed to do it. And they are going the right way about putting themselves into the gold medal match tomorrow. And that'll be against New Zealand or Thailand. They're locked in a pretty close contest themselves.
So there's a lot of big games going on over in the green 4 there, Val, as we see Alan Ryan. She's now 15-10 up, as you mentioned. Kathleen Rednall from England. She's up over her South African opponent. Looks to be 11-8.
That's Colleen Pyketh.
That's correct. New Zealand 12-7 up over Sri Lanka.
So Kumari Mangos got through from Alan Ryan's section. Great story. Falling out of Altona in Victoria. And Jimmy Reynolds and Damien Delgado, they are powering away from Singapore here, 15-2. They look like they're on their way to the gold medal match tomorrow, on Sunday morning. So this one, however, a sensational exponent of ditch drawing by the Scots.
Yeah.
Alan Ryan, Alan Faulkner, a word of encouragement to her charger in Serena Bonnell as she sends down another one. It's about to come now.
Yeah, spot on, Val. 2 beautiful drawn bowls to the ditch. It's a very hard skill to master. Serena Bonnell, she's looking to at least get one out down under the front.
She's got one more in the tank. And Pauline will try and add in yet another one They're holding 2. They lead it by 10. If they get it to a 12-shot margin or even more, then it gets to the point where the Aussies need to get multiples quickly to ensure that we even get a full allotment of ends. This Scottish lineup, they have been ruthless from the get-go.
Yeah, just taking their time to assess everything here. They know that 3 here all of a sudden makes it 13 clear with a couple of ends to play.
Serena will have 1 more. So no harm done if it is a 3. It's just a bit of a pressure bowl for Serena Bonnell. So Pauline Wilson just needs, honestly, to be similar to her last.
Yeah, she doesn't need to change much at all.
She's going to be under.
Well, that could be a strategic bowl, Val. Something
Maybe.
in the way.
Little blocker.
Oh, it's not far away from being perfect. If Serena's looking to play both bowls out or turn Cheryl's toucher up. Serena Bonnell, backhand, looking for Cheryl Linfield's toucher into the ditch. We'll take a couple of bowls out to reduce the count.
Doesn't want to crash in. She's not far, but that is going to be a 2 to Scotland, and it becomes even more difficult for the Australians. This has been ruthless from Scotland. Brutal. They lead by 12 with 4 ends to play.
Yeah, just rock solid, playing some big ones when it matters. If Rosemary hasn't got it done, quite often you'll see that Pauline's come down and backed her up quite well. So that's how they survive as a really good pair. That's how they get it done, Val. You're going to have days where, or even games where one player might not quite be doing the job, and it's a matter of backing each other up. And when you're backing each other up, it breeds confidence and morale and chemistry, and you've got to run with it.
The straw, I think, that has broken the camel's back in this contest was that 3 when Australia was 1 up to get it to 8-4 and win a second end in a row, and 3 out of 4, but bounced off the Cheryl Lindfield bowl and right into the belly and the welcoming belly of 3 blue bowls for Scotland that put them 11-3 up. And since then, they haven't looked back. They've scored a 1, a 1, and a 2 to extend this margin. And they continue on these T-to-T lengths.
Yeah, Jimmy Reynolds, Damien Delgado, well, they're really going well over there, as you mentioned just before, Val. They've really hit their straps. 19-2, and he's even just lifted his hat off, has Jimmy Reynolds, to Damien Delgado, and there's no higher honour.
Alan Ryan leads 17-10. She's in the checkout zone. She's so close, Ellen, to a semi.
Cheryl Linfield needs to respond as best she can here. Just play a couple of consistent shots. Australia versus Malaysia all locked up, 10 apiece after 9 ends in the men's pairs.
So, history is right with these two. Here, the Scottish combatants, because they could become the very first ever para team to do the World Championships and Commonwealth Games double back to back, and it would be some sort of feat.
Yeah, that's rare air when you think about that. And you think about all the games and all the prep and the training, the commitments, the camps. It's a massive achievement if they can start talking about that in their resume. Anything back-to-back in any sport is nearly impossible, but if you get it done, it's just this sense of super accomplishment. But Cheryl Lindfield here, she wants to try and pair up another one, hold two. Just force a bit of pressure onto Scotland, let them know they're not going to lay over and die. They're just going to hang on as much as they can.
Now, Robert Barr and Melanie Innes, who are playing Australia's Jake Felberg and Jackie Hudson in the Vision in paired mixed pairs, they are also vying for that same honour, Barry Lester. The same group, they won the Commonwealth Games last year over Wales. So they'd be in rarefied air, but Jake and Jackie lead at 7-5 at the moment.
Yeah, there's some stats in sport that you think, how is it even close to being achieved? And then, especially after in different conditions, different surfaces across multiple years, it's kudos to the players and their training and their commitment. Sometimes even just being selected again as a battle, let alone...
Yeah, going on and winning it again. And this one...
Wow, very close there. Just shaving the front bowl. Cheryl Lindfield currently holding one. Serena Bonnell on the mat. And here it comes. Just pausing for a second there in her setup. Okay, here we go again.
Big shot required from Serena Bonnell.
Backhand.
What has she got?
Yeah, looking to hold two as quick as they can here, Australia. Just create some different kind of scoreboard pressure.
Is it going to get there? Needs it to run at short. So, Pauline Wilson, she won't need more invitation. She's gone on the forehand.
Yeah, on a good line, Val.
Yeah, if she can trail this jack and make a three,
sit the
or
shot
even
bowl.
just sit the shot bowl out, not far away. And it stays up. It's been a magnificent display from the Scots today. You can't really fault them. So,
a lot of room for Serena.
Yep.
Backing her in here.
And a big score required.
Needs to slow down, though.
That drifts through the gap. But, let's see what the chat will be here between Rosemary and Pauline.
I think it's all about the multiple options here,
Yep.
Val. It's just dead draw for one, forehand. If you happen to trail the jack, you make three.
Yep.
But then you could go searching for the shot bowl and make a couple. So it's good to see, once again, just that level of maturity and professionalism from both players. A little team meeting at the front of the head.
Yep, communication, so important. Ellen Ryan, 17-11 ahead of Lara Butler.
So here we go. Pauline Wilson. What will it be? Looking for the shot bowl or jack.
Pauline Wilson
Missing under.
missing under, but will it stop in time? No.
It's not
Oh, it's-
completely out of it.
No, you know what, Baz? That might actually be the boss. It's pretty close. Cheryl's going to give an indication here of what she thinks it is. Not sure what she favours. I think she favours the Australian. So, let's find out.
Serena Bonnell, she can touch the jack here. The perfect result is she can make 4, but sit that bowl and stay for 2. She doesn't want to turn it over. Well, she's made 2, I believe.
Yeah, I reckon that's a couple. We'll get an indication. Umpire coming out. So, we'll give some scores. Disco and Teasy. As you've got one eye on that one.
Yeah, Australia just picked up a 3, and they are now leading 13-10 after 10 ends.
So, the comments here. The Australians, well, Damien Delgado and Jimmy Reynolds, 20-2 on Singapore after 11. They could be up against South Africa in the final. 10-2 against Hong Kong, China after 9. Vision impaired. South Africa, they have come back strong after being down 6-0 against England. They're 9-7 up after 10. And Australia, Jake and Jackie, leads Scotland 7-6 after 10. That one is getting tight. As our umpires come out here, a big thank you to the ITOs. It is 1 to Australia. So the Aussies back on the board for the first time since end 7. That was end 12. And multiples will not be enough. And Australia finally back on the board for the 4th time. A big end required from them. But Scotland, this Commonwealth Games championship winning pair of Rosemary Lenton and Pauline Wilson, they have been magnificent. And another sensational showing from the Scots. New Zealand, well, they're flying as well. It could be Scotland v New Zealand in the final. They lead Thailand 11-6. Now, Jake and Jackie in the vision impaired. And Scotland, they're in a tight battle themselves. They've led throughout the majority of this contest. We've lost the jack here.
So, out in the back green, Alan Ryan leads 19-11. Sri Lanka down 16-8 to New Zealand. England over South Africa 16-8. And Canada over Hong Kong, China 16-7. So those games are starting to take shape well and truly right into the deep end. And the Irish pair, Gary Kelly taking on Ryan Bester, they now lead. Ireland leads now after 12 ends, 15-5.
Wow, that is a very, very big result for the Irish. Could we be seeing Disco v Kelly in another major final?
Yeah, that's right, 2-16. Aaron Wilson's first big title playing for Australia. He teamed up with Brett Wilkie and played Gary Kelly and Ian McClure on the back green at Burnside.
So Jack out of bounds here. So we lost the second one. So they'll have a look, make sure. So if the Scots score a multiple in this end, Baz, they win. That's the tail of the tape, and we could be done after 13 ends. They've been absolutely ruthless. We're going to check this again. So we've lost the jack, and now we're not sure whether this one has gone out of bounds. What are your thoughts, Barry?
Yeah, it's, well, I guess for the players, it's a bit of a break in play for them. You know, it's important that they stay focused. Don't let this distract their momentum. As it's been decided, I'm pretty sure it's in.
Yep, so we are inbounds. So Scotland dictate the length even after losing a rare end. And a 2 for them. It's a bird almost takes me out completely. A 2 here for Scotland, and it's over. They move through. It's the gold medal match to face either New Zealand or Thailand. Australia look as though they're probably going to be walking home with a bronze medal, which is nothing to be sneezed at. Another sensational campaign from Serena Bonnell and Cheryl Lindfield. And Jimmy Reynolds and Damien Delgado, they're shaking hands, I believe.
Yes, they are.
Yes, they are. They are through to the gold medal match. Another Aussie pair and another Aussie team in a final. 21 years after Jimmy Reynolds won a Com Games bronze, Baz, he's back in a major final.
Yeah, and I remember seeing that on TV, as I mentioned the other day, as a 19, 20-year-old watching that. Manchester, bowling through puddles in the rain, and there was Jimmy getting it done for his country.
He's continued to get it done for his country.
Yeah, and continues to be a great bloke, someone that works in the sport. And Damo Delgado will be playing for a gold medal, this time on home soil in front of his family and friends and clubmates. So exciting for both players.
Certainly is. So, at the moment, Scotland through Rosemary, Lenton. That's coming in, and that, well, Baz, they're holding game.
That's right. As it sits right now, 2 will be enough. 17-4 with 2 ends to play.
Ellen Ryan, 2011, Baz, against Lara Butler. She's closing in.
1 to go. Cheryl Lindfield, what a shot that was. Jakey Felberg, what a shot.
Hat off
pressure
by Rob Hudson, so that's a good bowl.
Yeah, I think he was 3 down. He's drawn the shot. So that was a big moment in their match. Played a couple of rinks over from this live stream game. So that score is now just looking for the board there. 8-6 Australia.
Oh, it's tense with 4 ends to play. Barry Lester. Oh, that's close. The Skips make their way down. Scotland were holding game, and Cheryl Lindfield has saved it. Now, what can the Aussies do?
Yeah,
something like a full count is the only thing that will really keep them in it.
Yeah, need to be just forehand here for Serena. Just trying to trail the jack down to 4 o'clock. Trying to play towards where you've got bowls waiting. So Malaysia pick up 2. There's only 1 in it now. So after 11 ends, Australia, Aaron Wilson, Aaron Tees lead 13-12. Hasn't really been any more than a couple of shots in that game all match.
Yeah, very close. Serena Bonnell now on the mat. What a day it's been, Baz. An epic in the women's fours to start us off against Hong Kong, China. Well, they went even more epic in the second game, coming back from 12-0 down to overcome Scotland in what was a sensational clash. Well, Scotland in this semi-final, they get their revenge, we think. It's not over yet, but Rosemary and Pauline have been monumental. Another great tournament from Serena and Cheryl. But it looks as though it is going to be Rosemary Lenton and Pauline Wilson who are going to vie for history, become the first ever para team to do the Commonwealth World Double consecutively.
Pauline Wilson, forehand, looking for the shot bowl.
Rosemary does like it. Needs to get around the front. Does. And it's going way too quick.
Not bad weight to just try and dislodge the shot bowl, just on a high line.
So a 2 for the Scots here. Finishes it off. A 1 for the Aussies, or a 1 for Scotland, or anything for the Aussies, and we continue. Damien Delgado and James Reynolds are through.
So Serena Bonnell missing high there, trying to trail the jack for a number. And Rosemary Lenton with a couple of seconds there. Well, a lot of noise happening next door. Well, behind us is that Val. Malaysia, 3 down on the head. All of a sudden, holding 3.
Wow.
Game on. Malaysia up for the
word.
task. Aaron T's putting 3 within a couple of feet, and Malaysian skip drove them all out. Aaron Wilson now finds himself without a bowl on the green.
Unbelievable. Joanne Delgado watching. Congratulations, James and Damien. So, Serena Bonnell looking to put another one in here. Scotland were holding game earlier on this end.
And nice shot, Serena.
So there's the second, I reckon. Falls in. That's definitely 2. So Pauline with her final bowl of the end. Can she finish it off? Who knows?
She's going to need the jack here. Forehand.
Gone for it.
Or could she try and draw it?
She doesn't. We go on. Australia take their first multiple of the match. Margin is at 9. So after losing the jack and going down game briefly, they continue to fight. Do we have another twist in this tale? Who knows? They have to score a 3 or better in this end, Australia, to take it to a final end here.
So Aaron Wilson's drawn 2. He's currently holding 2. Malaysia with 1 bowl left.
Plenty going on here.
Ellen Ryan.
She's shaking hands. Reckon that might be over. Ellen Ryan over Lara Butler.
Results all starting to come to an end here across both greens, as the sun's really getting in behind the trees and clouds.
So tomorrow, green 3 at Helensvale, Baz. It's women's 4s at 8:30 in the morning. Then at midday, the men's pairs final. Then at 8:30 as well, the vision impaired mixed pairs final. At midday, the para women's pairs final. And then at 3:30 p.m, the men's triples final. 8:30 is when everything kicks off. Vision impaired pairs, South Africa from 6-0 down. They've gone 12-1 since then. Monumental. And Cheryl Lindfield, she's put in a second here. They will not go down without a fight.
It's a bit of a pattern starting to happen here on this backhand for Cheryl. She's starting to really get a feel for it. 4-2 within a foot.
This is wayward from Rosemary Lenton. So, all of a sudden, maybe some nerves coming in for the Scots.
Yeah, just persisted on that forehand. I thought maybe get over on the backhand, get in Cheryl's way, or work up to the shot bowls. Cheryl put another one in there. Looks to be a bit firmer. Well, it's probably not going to count.
It might. It's gone too quick. She needed a third one in there. That would have heaped the pressure on Rosemary Lenton. Anything less than a 3 for Scotland, or for Australia here, sorry, wins it for Scotland. So Australia need a triple to keep this going. Anything more than that, and, well, could be game on. A full count takes Australia to within 3.
Well, she's done it all game, has Pauline Wilson. She's either cut it back or played a big one when it matters.
Well,
can she do it again, though?
Yep, they don't matter much more than this. New Zealand leading Thailand 11-7 in the other semi-final. Can the Blackjacks go through to a decider? So, Jimmy and Damo will play on Sunday morning. That's the schedule. That's at 9 o'clock in the morning. And then at 12:30 is the women's singles final. Damien Delgado rolls past us, and he is very happy. Now, Serena, I reckon she's put in a third here, Baz.
Definitely.
Yep. So that's a counter.
Yeah, all of a sudden, 3 shots. Scotland hasn't put a bowl inside 6 feet here.
Yep,
so
well,
it's time to really reset and go back to the basics.
It's enough to take it to an extra, or to the final end, that's for sure.
Yeah, and Serena, well, she's got a couple of bullets left.
So, Pauline, this is huge because it's going to start to get in her head. She needs to get one close here.
Yeah, this is all about routine now. Basics, just line and length, technique, get the bowl away good. Forget about the result and the position.
Now, how quick is she?
She's quick, but she needs to connect on something. Well, that's going to help.
Pauline, that is good. I still reckon it could be 2 to the Aussies. Yep, Cheryl Lindfield says that's okay. It's still 2.
Yeah.
You need to put in a third here, Serena, or sit this bowl for 4.
Serena Bonnell, can she make it 3 or even look to land that blue bowl for 4?
She's tight, but needs it to stop. If it does, it'll be a third.
Good effort. Well, Pauline Wilson needs to get another one in there.
If she doesn't, Serena will be able to make 5.
Yeah, that's right. Serena Bonnell will be after that blue bowl with any weight she likes. And if she gets it in the middle and stays, it'll be 5. And all of a sudden, a huge twist comes onto this game. She's close here. She's played beautiful weight as Pauline Wilson. Well, that's a great shot.
It is, and well, that is brilliant. Absolutely brilliant.
And Serena Bonnell needs both blue bowls.
So you're going to have to go with weight, try and hit off.
That's right.
And
inside of the blue, come across, hit the other one on the way out. Be hard to stay, but still a possibility of making 4.
3 will send it to another end, which means that the Aussies would need a full count to take it to an extra end. But there is a Lloyd Christmas chance. Australia, well, it all hangs on this. But it looks as though Rosemary Lenton and Pauline Wilson might be going through to another major international final.
So Serena Bonnell Just having a good chat with her coach, Alan Faulkner. They're talking about trying to remove the 2 blue bowls of Scotland. And if you can somehow stay, she can make 5. And if she doesn't stay, she can make 4. But it's going to take a fair bit of weight control.
Yep, they're deep in consultation.
Well, if Serena can't get the job done here, that will be the game. She's taking her time. You can see her on the bank there talking about every possibility with her coach. Jack movement's another option. Half jack, sit the blue and stay.
Deep in consultation. Perfection needed. And if not, Scotland are going through to the bronze medal match.
Yeah, so it's backhand with weight. Blue, stay for 5, or blue, and make 4. One other slim option, and that is come down, kick the jack sideways, and run off and sit the blue, make 3 or 4. But at this stage, the way it sits, they must score at least 3.
And if not, it's over. Serena Bonnell comes down to this to keep the Aussies in it. Luck hasn't been on their side today, but can it change? On its way. Tell you what, Baz. I tell you what.
Blue. Oh, she feathered it.
Oh, that was so close. So is Pauline okay? Is she going to play this final bowl?
Oh, I wouldn't have thought, Val. No need.
Looking at it, even if you're down.
No, they can afford to drop 2.
Shaking hands. I don't think there's a third in this. Pauline Wilson is striding back to... No, they're kicking the bowls away. That is it. And Scotland book their place in what could be an historic match where they could become the first ever para pair to do the Commonwealth World Championships double back-to-back. It is Rosemary Lenton and Pauline Wilson that move through to the final. They'll play either New Zealand or Thailand for the gold. And that'll be tomorrow at Club Helensvale. It's been a wonderful day. Absolutely brilliant. Talk us through where that was won.
Yeah, just I guess probably the most important part of that match for the Scottish pair to pull away for the win was just the amount of effective bowls. As I've continued to say, we're all going to play good and bad bowls, but ideally we play the least amount of ineffective deliveries. And if you are putting bowls down that aren't actually counting, we've got to be putting them into good areas that can be counted. And Scotland just seemed to do that a little bit more, but Australia hung tough. They created opportunities late in the match, just couldn't quite get there in the end.
They were absolutely magnificent. The Scots, absolutely brilliant. We'll do a quick whip around of what's happening here. Now, the Aussie men's pairs, they're doing fairly well themselves. They pulled out to a little bit of a lead over New Zealand, and Jake Felberg, I can't quite see the score, 9-6 they lead. Hudson and Felberg over Scotland, doing pretty well. And South Africa running over the top of England here in the vision-impaired mixed pairs. And Aussies, Aaron Tees and Aaron Wilson, 20-12 leaders. There's still 5 ends to play there over Malaysia, but they are looking very, very, very promising. Barry Lester, it's been an absolute pleasure today. We won't be calling together for the next couple of days, but we'll reconvene on Tuesday for the reverse disciplines, and looking forward to that.
Yeah, thanks for a good day, mate.
Go very well tomorrow and Sunday in your calls, but tomorrow morning, 8:30 a.m. That's when you can join us, and it'll be the Women's Fours final, Australia versus England. That'll be up at 8:30. Then it's the men's pairs final. We don't know who the finalists are going to be there. Looking like Australia versus Ireland. Mixed pairs para final, so the vision impaired. Looking like it could be Australia v South Africa. What a final that will be. Para women's pairs, Scotland against either New Zealand or Thailand. And then the men's triples, Australia v Scotland, Cheryl v Sheriff v Marshall. It's been Val Ferbo and Barry Lester. We bid you good night.